No, that's funny.
Yeah, like a Nazi salute. Like, oh yeah, that's just my autism. It's like, that's wild. I've never seen an autistic person do that before.
Yeah.
They're speaking, Das ist gut. Like,
I mean,
sorry, I'm autistic.
Apparently Hitler was artistic, but not like...
Indianapolis! Sean Dick and Cheese.
Welcome back, Stamp Tramps. And we have a very special guest this evening. The victor of the Afghanistan of roast battles, the showdown at sundown, that took longer than the NFL season to complete. The winner of the roast battle, Larry Loobey.
Hey, what's going on?
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that was a prolonged conflict, and it didn't end the way you thought it would.
Terrible pullout.
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I lucked out. Yeah, man.
Word. So yeah, actually, first met you at that pizza place.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Al's Pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron put that on.
Right.
Yeah, Aaron Scholl. Shout out Aaron Scholl.
Who, ironically, you took out in the final round.
Took out in the final round.
Yep.
Yeah, no, good opponent. Yeah, tough guy. But no, yeah, we met at that.
Tough guy. He's real tough.
He's real tough.
He had me on the ropes for a little while.
No, dude, it was one. I think I won that by like one joke.
Yeah.
He was good. I got like notes here on it, like, so we can kind of go over it then. But yeah, that night, that was the night I met you, and he was gonna do an open mic afterwards. But like, I was the only one who signed up to the open mic because all the guys who were going to sign up showed up late.
Yeah, I think it was you and him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I thought you were on the show.
Well, it was you two, and then what? Alex Webb, I think.
Right.
Correctly.
Right. So he let me go up first and do 5 minutes, and I was like, perfect.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, I had like 4 people in the back dying laughing, and everyone else was confused, and I was fine with that.
Yeah.
So how long have you been, like, when did you start?
I started at the end of September, over a year ago. So what would that be, like 13? No, that would be like 15 months.
Something like that.
Nice.
Something like
I'm
that.
going to start saying that, how long I've been doing comedy in months, like it's a baby.
Yeah. So like,
Well, my kid's
over a year.
14
just over
months,
a year,
was born in December. So if you're September 16, 17 months? Ish?
Sure. Yeah, whatever it is.
Nice.
No, when it came around at like 1 year, I was like, I suck, dude. Like, I was like, I can't believe I've been doing this a year, and like, I don't know. But now it's starting to pick up. It's starting to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
But,
For sure. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it does sound about right. A year is just like, holy shit, it's been a year. Why do I not feel like I've gotten anything accomplished?
Yeah, dude, I was like, but also like, I have kids. It's tough to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but now they're getting a little older. It's getting a little easier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're 7 and 8.
7, tomorrow 7.
Wow.
Or today, happy birthday, the day this comes out. She's never going to listen to this.
That's probably for the best.
No, dude, I have so many stories from when I was younger that I'm like, the children can never know.
Yeah.
I'm like, they can never know what we've done.
Especially because times are different too. It's not like just like, well, I don't want them to know what I did. It's like, no, I don't want them to know what could be done.
Yeah, I'm worried about the kid one day listening to this. It's like,
well, to be fair, there's no way she's gonna listen to all of it. So,
well, true.
Get all the embarrassing shit out of the way now.
True.
Yeah, man.
Where did you start? Like, where's your first open mic?
So I actually did one like over 10 years ago, and I just did one. Right, it was at Champions in Highspire.
No idea where that is.
Okay, it's just a bar in Highspire. But actually, like, I saw Lennon was there,
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Manny Santiago.
Was it the one that Lennon did all the time? Is it the same one?
I went and like watched one, and then on the next week I went in and did it, and yeah, he was there both times.
Yeah, was he like hosting or anything?
No, it was some chick. I don't know who she was, but they were there, and LaMare Lee was there.
Okay, yeah,
and it was cool, and like, you know, went up. I like got a couple sympathy laughs, and then just bombed and got down, and they were like, "Good job," and I was like, "Okay," and then we just hung out, you know. And then I was like, I knew, like, I was like, if I get into this, like, this is gonna take up a lot of my time, and I was like I grew up like super poor, and I was like, let me get my money first.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what I did. Like, I'm like working all the time. I'm going crazy, but like now I feel like comfortable. Like I have a little bit of time to play. So I was like, dude, I just can't. I was like, I can't go another year without starting to do comedy.
Yeah.
So anyway, so then I actually started, like I said, you know, whatever it was, 18 months ago. And I went to, it was called Laughing Stock.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
It was Sarah Cartwright and Casey Nicholson's mic.
Right,
Nice.
right.
And so it was them. And like I went and I met like Frank Riviera and Alex Webb.
Hell yeah.
And, you know, all these guys I'm still cool with today. Dom, all these guys. But it was fun, and went up, and every joke that I told, like when I wrote it, it was a 2-minute joke. And months later, when I finally got it to be funny, it was a 20-second joke.
Yeah, be like that.
Yeah. So
I'm sure the first time you delivered it, it was a minute and a half.
like I had too much bullshit. I had like explaining things that were not relevant to a punchline, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway, but then I started that was like closing down, and I was starting to go to Comedy Zone, and that's where I probably hit the most. But
Right on.
but I've been hitting other ones. I've been I love Church of Satire. That one's
Yeah, it's
sweet.
awesome.
Coexist is in.
I've heard good things. That's the one Steelton.
That's the one Steel, and I like that.
I know. I got to get out to that one. It's on Saturdays, so it's like
it's every other Saturday, but it'll be this Saturday.
Word.
So if anybody's free, shout out Coexist Gallery in Steelton.
I might be able to actually get out for a Saturday evening one.
yeah, that would actually work.
Yeah, I've been having trouble. I was going to ask you, like, how it's been. You said it's easier now that they're older, but, like, how has it been balancing? Like, does your wife hate you? Or
Yeah, at times
Okay,
for sure.
fair
Like like at the roast battle. Sorry, babe, I'm going to call you out. She got nice and drunk.
nice.
Yeah, dude, she was having a ball. And I came over, you know, he gives me the cash for winning, and I go over, and I was like, I'm going to lose this. So I just give it to her. And she looks at her friends, and she's like, yeah, this is for all those nights I put the kids to bed by myself.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. She gives it to me. But no, she's been awesome. She's been so supportive. Yeah, it's been great. But it is a challenge because, you know, like, if I'm doing comedy, I'm usually not doing anything else that night. So like, we'll be like, all right, we're not taking the kid to jiu-jitsu, or
Right.
like I have my kids signed up for like a baseball clinic right now. And so that's Tuesday night. So it's like, okay, Tuesday night's pretty much done once we do that.
Yeah.
So there is lots of stuff like that, but you know, you just got to pick your nights and
Yeah, for sure.
make it work. So I try to go out like 3 times a week.
All right.
Like, but yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, dude, you'll see. You got your daughter now, and you'll see, man. When they get older, like my kids, like they couldn't do anything unless they wanted to do it. Like, I couldn't. I've like opened the door to so many things. Like maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do this, and they're like, nope. Like to everything. Like she does gymnastics and he does jujitsu, and like I made him sign up for this baseball camp. And they were like, why? And I was like, because when you get to be 10 and you can't catch a ball, it's going to be embarrassing. You know what I mean?
That's a solid move, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you got to do it. And then...
And this is the smallest one, so if you can catch this, you can catch a basketball, football, you'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did that, and a guy from work, actually, his kids are way into baseball. If you know anybody who has kids in sports right now, like... dude, it takes over their lives.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say Matt Blank, he has kids, and it's like he doesn't get to like he doesn't get to Harrisburg at all anymore, really. Just sometimes because he's always doing the baseball and everything like that.
Yeah, like every parent I talk to, like they're like, oh yeah, my daughter's in cheer, and we every weekend go to a competition somewhere, and they pay for hotels and they do all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, when I was a kid, like baseball, everyone shared a bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I grew up in the 90s. Like everyone shared a bat. You had one helmet that everyone put their stinky head on.
What the hell? Where's that for comics? Yeah, come out to this competition. We'll pay for your hotel. We'll pay for your travel. Pay for your food. Like,
oh yeah, no, the parents are paying for all of it.
I know. I'm just fucking.
But yeah,
it is the same. You're going to pay for your hotel, your gas, and you won't get paid because it'll all go to the to the gas.
Yeah, I didn't even have anything to bring home from fucking from Savannah for the to give to make up for all her nights putting the kid to bed alone.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, but we had a good battle, man. Do you wanna go through them?
I think we should. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be my first time hearing them, probably.
Yeah. I mean, we don't necessarily have to like recite the jokes, but I mean, we can. I to set it up for most people who are listening have listened. So last week we had Corey on who put this thing on. It was like 4 or 5 opening rounds, right? I
think it was 3 and then the battle back, but I don't remember.
Okay. And that's so 16 times 3, 48 plus the battle pass. So this is like 50 or like there was probably 40 people who competed to get in here, maybe 45. But right. Oh yeah, a bunch of them didn't show up.
The names that didn't show up, like Corey probably had to go through 120 people. It was like right. Like you said earlier, like you said you had to back out of doing one of the battle back rounds, but you did it 2 weeks in advance, and he was like, at least he did it then. Like,
well, he was like, I was pissed until everybody backed out that week. And then I was like, oh, okay, whatever.
So yes, on Sunday was the final, and 16. It was a bracket system, so eight on each side. We were on the same side of the bracket, and I went up against Zach Jack, and his just complete and utter disdain for the entire process was palpable.
He was one of the guys being like, I don't even want to do this.
He was he either said he was gonna or did bribe the judges to lose so that he would lose. But yes, even on stage telling his jokes, I don't specifically remember, but he was telling them in a way where like he did not give a fuck.
I have a note on it. So his best joke was he said, "You look like you season your food with estrogen."
Right.
And then
that's really funny.
That was good.
Your best one was like the paint chip one.
Oh yeah. It was Zach Jack looks like he ate paint chips this morning. Because it got a laugh because everyone assumed I'm saying like when he was a kid. But I was like, this morning, that was good. I was also proud of when I guess it was that one. I was like, I waited for him to drop a fat joke. And I was like, wow, that's rich, a fat joke coming from a guy with the pronouns he, him. That was I was pretty proud of that one.
I'm trying to think. That might have been against Craig.
No, that was Zach.
It was Zach?
Yeah, it was definitely Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Damn, what are you trying to say about Craig? Like, no, it was about Craig in my head.
No, I didn't say that. No,
that's how I heard it. I guess we all hear things differently.
We all hear things. Yeah. So the first round, I had Dalton.
Right.
Dalton Gross. And I knew he wasn't going to like take it laying down. Like he had some good jokes when he had his rounds coming into it.
Right.
And but I was just, dude, I was writing on this thing for like a month. Like,
right.
Like I probably had like 20 jokes for him.
Nice.
Like not all good ones, but I had like 20 at least like ideas. You know what I mean? Like, and so I was going crazy, and I was like, I did really good that round. He called me gay Johnny Bravo. And I was like, sweet.
That's sick.
Yeah, and he said I wore like my shirts are too tight and shit. And like, and then I called him the Pillsbury Proud Boy.
Right. That was a good one. Nice.
Yeah.
That one I think clinched that.
Yeah.
I don't think he came back from that one.
Yeah, that was something. And then the opening round, we were all waiting for Brendan Gard to show up.
Oh yeah,
because he was like just getting off work.
Right.
Yeah, and then it ran a little late, but then they just threw him on right before the quarterfinals.
Right. Yeah, and I like, and everyone's saying like, why are we waiting for this dude? Like, we all knew about this like months in advance, and like it was getting frustrating. Like, 'cause it was like, why are we like just? He was supposed to go up against Bodie.
Yeah,
and we're just like, just give Bodie the win for that round. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of what I. Yeah,
like
I mean,
why hold the entire place hostage for one dude? Like, I understand shit happens, but it was like over an hour late, and we knew about this months in advance. It's like, dude, like, I don't know.
It'd be weird for a comedy show to start on time, though. So,
well, it didn't. That's the thing. It didn't start on time, and he was still over an hour later after it started. So,
I see what you're saying. I thought you meant the entire show, like to start the show. You were waiting.
No.
Just for that round. Gotcha.
Yeah. So, like, then.
Yeah,
to kill time, Corey and Dalton roasted each other, but it was really just different versions of "you're a gay retard." Like,
I mean, I enjoy that.
Yeah, aren't they all?
Yeah. That was about 50% of the jokes that night.
Let me think. What else? Oh, Alex Webb versus Kevin. Is it Lenahan? You think it was?
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that battle I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Because he was Kevin Lenahan, this dude from where was he from? He was from
New York. I think
he's from New York City.
Yeah,
because I think he's booking the New York side of the New York versus
right. Oh, you know what? I think it was from Staten Island.
Okay, right.
But he said about Alex Webb, he said Alex was fighting cancer just so he could keep spreading racism. And that was pretty good. And then Alex Webb said he comes too fast, too furious.
Yeah, that was a
good. Dude, I was losing it.
So good.
Yeah, Alex, like he was right in that next to me.
Does he look like Vin Diesel? Is that?
That's what I was
that's
like.
What I'm picturing right now. But.
No, he looked like who's that football player?
Oh, Kelsey. It looked like.
It looked like Kelsey with like a more Amish beard.
Okay, gotcha. I can picture that. Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was tough. I actually thought that guy was going to come up through the bracket, and I thought that was who was going to be in the final. Like,
right.
He came out strong. I was like, oh man, like here we go.
I did get a pretty good pop off of that dude being late because I think was that when I was coming up with you or when I was going up with Craig?
That was Craig.
Okay, yeah. So I just. Was like, I guess we should forgive that dude for being late. He had to help Frodo take the ring to Mordor because he was kind of like a short hobbit looking dude. He kind of looked like Samwise. So he had to take the ring to Mordor.
Yeah, man.
That's a risky one. You gotta rely on people knowing. I mean, it's a bunch of comics, so that makes sense that they would work. You know what I mean? But like for regular audience members, that's a gamble. If they know Lord of the Rings.
Which I actually have another Lord of the Rings based roast joke that I completely forgot about and like could have pulled out that night. I just completely forgot about
really?
it. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to it, but
yeah. So then, so what they did was they had Brendan versus Bodie, and Bodie didn't write any jokes, and he apparently nethen does for roast battles. He just goes up, but he made it this far, so it was like
right.
But you know. But then Brendan, he did this thing where he was like, oh, hold on. And he like ran over to the Savannahs because you could just go through a door.
Yeah.
And he ran over there and he runs back and he goes, sorry, I just had to check on your mom or something like that. It's like your mom needed me or something like that. And the place blew up. Like it was nuts.
It's pretty funny.
So then they just did that and they like took a little intermission before the quarterfinals. And then they did that battle first, went through the other ones, and then Brendan had to go like against me like kind of right away because it was so late. And so I also was trying to figure out who I was going to go up against, you know what I mean? And I only had like those couple battles to figure it out. So pretty much I told my friends, like I actually had people come out and watch, and I was like, I'm not sitting with you guys. I was like, I gotta go sit over in the corner and write because if I'm sitting with you guys, I'm gonna make jokes to you guys all night.
Yeah,
and then I'm not gonna write anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so you went up against Craig Paul,
right,
and that was fun.
That was fun. I was a little looser for that one. Like Zach Jacks, the ones I had were like pretty set.
Yeah,
that I was going to do, and then I had some that were kind of like because I knew it was either going to be Craig Paul or Jeff Roser.
Yeah.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
So either way, you're like, serial killers. You're like,
yeah.
Right. I actually had one that mentioned Proud Boys, but you had already done that one.
Right.
I could have tweaked it, but I.
Bill's very proud.
that was pretty good. That was good. When their round went up, Jeff said like a few times, like give it up for the troops because Craig Paul was, he makes it known that he was in the service. So when I went up, it had been like some rounds, so I was like, yeah, give it up for the troops. Which got a laugh, and I was like, well, yeah, that's how Craig spent most of his service.
Yeah.
That didn't really get much of a pop. I don't know.
I think it's because it was like it was like the wrong tense. It was like, should be like giving it to the troops. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely could have worded it better. But ours was, I don't know from an outside perspective, like it seemed like kind of close.
It was a tight, that was a tight one.
Because I felt like some of mine didn't hit. I had one that was, you look like you started driving before you stopped breastfeeding.
Yeah.
I don't think that got what it deserved either. I was like, that's pretty good. Because Craig was even like, I don't understand. I was like, you were 16 when you stopped breastfeeding. That's the joke. Like, but I don't. It just didn't land. I don't know. But his were good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had like a before and after of like testosterone or something.
Yeah,
that's what it was. He was like, we look like before and after a testosterone treatment.
Was it Bodie who did the teabagging?
Yeah, he just teabagged Brendan, and everyone was like, okay, I guess we're doing that.
Yeah, so just a reminder for people, the judges were Dom Driscoll, Eddie Diesel, and Damian Robinson, and then for this final, they had Karen Kay and Earl David Reed. And I looked over at the judges, and when he told Brendan to lay down, first off, he actually laid down. I was like, if you told me to lay down in a roast battle, I'm not going to help you with your chance. Joke. So he laid down and just started teabagging. I just saw Earl put his face in his hands. Like, why am I here?
What did I say?
What have I done in my life that led me to this moment where I'm judging people teabagging each other, not writing jokes for a joke battle?
Did Bodie win that round?
No.
How did he not win when the other guy let him teabag him?
No.
Because that's when he ran over to the strip club, came
so
back and said, sorry, your mom needed something. Or,
but like you let a man teabag.
But he also had he had good
he just
jokes.
had better jokes.
He had good jokes.
Yeah, and there was no jokes other than the teabag. He had only have a teabag.
I love you, Bodie.
I'm picturing Halo right now.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what it was. It was that.
It kind of had that. It kind of had the vibe of a Call of Duty chat room.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just thinking because that's when like teabagging started. Was Halo online?
Right.
Yeah, that was like the inception of teabagging.
Yeah, and then so I got to go up against Brendan.
Right.
And I love what Damian Robinson said afterwards. Because I beat Brendan, and Damian goes, this is like Little Mac versus Glass Joe, except Glass Joe won. And I was like as a Nintendo guy, I was like, that's a good reference.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I was like,
did you ever play Punch Out?
No. I mean, I've seen. Have I? I might have.
So Punch Out, Little Mac is like the little dude, and then like you go through a series of boxers to get to Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
the very first one you fight is Glass Joe, and he's kind of like He's the easiest because he's the first. He's the first one, and
He's
it's
level
glass
one.
jaw, like glass jaw.
That's really
so you
funny.
just like destroy him. So that was very funny as a Nintendo kid.
Yeah,
like,
I would have played it like on a computer in school, in like elementary school.
Yeah.
So like it would have been way after like it was relevant.
right.
Yeah, that battle, I was pretty dominant. At one time, he one of his jokes just didn't hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that joke landed like a Delta flight.
Nice.
So that got me a pop just for
Were
saying.
you holding on to that? You're like, all right, as soon as somebody bombs one against me, they're getting the Delta.
Yeah, that was going anywhere. That was like, so I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And then I was like, guys, give it up for Brendan. He actually has a girlfriend. She just goes to a different school. You wouldn't know her.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it was good. So then, so you won against Craig. I won against Brendan, and Kevin beat Matt Harley.
Right.
And he said, I don't know if I'm going to say that. I'm not getting canceled for that one, actually.
Yeah, we don't want to have to edit it out. Don't do that.
And then Aaron Scholl.
I love that you wrote it down.
I wrote it down, but now I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'll write it, but I won't say it.
We can bleep it.
All right, well, it wasn't that bad. He just said like that Matt Harley would he would give all of his friends the N-word pass because he knows there's nothing he could do about it.
No, that's pretty fun. That's not that bad. That's not bad. You didn't say it.
No, he
So
didn't.
thank you.
No, that's how he worded it. He was nice about it. But yeah.
Oh, one more thing about Zach Jack. He showed up like I had two jokes that reference like he kind of usually has a walrus mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that on purpose.
Motherfucker. Yeah, he
Showed up, shaved his mustache.
Well, he said he had a skit that they like filmed that morning.
Yeah,
or so
he did say that. Yeah, he
so
didn't say
had
that's why he shaved, but he did play it off like he did that just to ruin
And I was like, you
the roast
motherfucker.
battle.
So like I had to when I was like, I debated doing it. I was like, I don't know if this could hurt me, but I was like, look, he usually has a walrus mustache. So for these next two jokes, you just have to pretend because.
Well, he did that
Yeah.
in the Harrisburg one. Apparently, he did that. He
that
he
motherfucker.
wore like a polo shirt or like a nice. He
Right,
wore like
he did tell me that. He
he
actually
wore
wore,
like
like-
reasonable clothing, and then Craig Paul was like, "All right, he doesn't usually dress like this."
I did hear about that, and I kind of hoped that he was going to do it again. Because then I was like, I like wrote a joke just for that.
yeah.
I was going to be like, look, he doesn't dress himself. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I had two for his mustache. It was like, yeah, he's married to a woman, so he actually has a mustache and a beard.
Nice. Yeah.
And then the other one was he looks like Wilford Brimley if he never treated his diabetes.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I was like, motherfucker, and like he might be my spirit animal just because he just like doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like I wish I had that looseness and like, but he could have eviscerated me. Like that was the wild thing. Like he could have like destroyed me if he wanted to. He just had complete and utter disdain for the entire process and had no desire to be there.
That's funny. Dude, I actually like him without the mustache.
Yeah, I do too. I also hate mustaches. So
He is one of the few people that can pull off the mustache.
Yeah.
And
very much.
I'm so used to him having it that like when he didn't have it, it almost felt like seeing your friend like without his shirt on. Like you're just like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it was
it's
like,
not, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like something's off.
yeah, like, did you ever see Nick Offerman completely shaven?
Right,
it was
right.
exactly like that. It was like when Nick Offerman completely shaves, the guy from Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I've never seen you without a beard. So if you didn't
It
have
would be
one,
weird.
I'd be like,
It would be weird.
so alarming.
It'd be even weirder for me because I haven't not had a beard since high school.
wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even. I just buzz it. I don't even shave. I don't.
Right.
I've noticed I look like a man with a beard. Why would I? Especially with this hair, I need the beard. What if I gotta do? Be baby face? I'm gonna look like a woman.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I don't need that problem. I already look like a woman from behind. It's bad. I can't turn around and still be mistaken. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can never grow a beard. I did it like once, and it was like over summer for no reason.
Yeah,
and my wife like liked it, But the thing is, like, my beard came in white before my hair did.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, I'm 37 and I got like the grays of a 50-year-old dude. You know what I mean?
I actually don't notice it just because your hair is lighter colored.
It is
like
a lighter
I
color.
didn't even realize till you said that just now that you have gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
funny.
the beard is even grayer.
Oh yeah.
So like she liked it, but then it was like time to take like a family picture, and she was like, "You gotta get rid of that." And like, so I only had it for like 3 months, and I was like cheating. Like the sides like were scraggly. I had to grow the sides longer to make it look right. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. I got a shitty beard, but I had, I do home remodeling for work, and so I would go in and I met a customer for the first time this way. And then they brought us back for a second project, and they were like, "Oh, no beard," and I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I completely forgot.
Yeah. You don't even know who I am.
So in that person's brain, I always have a beard.
Yeah, that's really
and
funny.
the shave is new, and I was like,
that's odd.
Yeah,
that's
so-
very funny. Yeah.
"Yeah." So anyway, back to the battle.
Yep.
So then they had Aaron and Kevin go right before we went.
Right.
And Kevin had a good line. He said, there's all types of peoples in this crowd right now. He's like, there's white people, there's black people. He said, I'm Puerto Rican, which I didn't know he was Puerto Rican.
Right, me neither.
And then he was like, and there's even cuckolds here. And he points at
That's
him.
funny.
And I think Aaron won that one on his comebacks. Because he would like say a joke and then Aaron would like agree with him or like say something else, and people were laughing more at what Aaron was coming back with than anything. And I think that's how he won that one.
Right.
So then me and you had to go up.
Yep.
And what did you call me? You called me.
Oh no, I said if you're here, who's running the Cobra Kai dojo?
Yes. Yes. And I was like, oh no. Like that one was good.
That was one of the only times I heard Earl audibly laugh that night.
Yeah.
So he dug that one.
Yeah, actually, I was up in the corner, and I would every once in a while I would look at Earl's reaction, and he didn't react to much. But at the end of the round, he would be like, "Good joke," and he would like break stuff down.
Right.
He's paying attention.
He was paying way attention. He was like,
He's been doing it a long time. It's hard,
Yeah, he's dialed in, but like it was hard. It was hard to make him laugh because he's probably he's seen everything.
Sure.
But yeah, he said Cobra Kai, and then and then he says to me, he says Larry was in the Boy Scouts.
Oh right. Yeah, Larry was in the Boy Scouts. Well, not all of them, just a few of them. But
That's so good.
But then I ruined that joke. I should have just shut up.
You had one extra line.
Yeah, I'm gonna excuse. I don't want to make excuses for why I lost because I don't want to. It doesn't take away anything from your victory because that was a well-deserved victory. Like you crushed it.
It was close.
You crushed it. But I know exactly the points where I just fucked up.
Yeah.
So I did that joke, got a big pop, and I could have just shut the fuck up and left it alone. But then I said, what did I say? I was like, yeah, and then he won the merit badge for tying nooses. The crowd wasn't fond of that one. I don't know. I just...
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Some people still laughed. Some people still laughed, but like...
I killed it. All I had to do was shut up.
Yeah.
After saying, well, not all of them.
I can see why you would go for that because that's like if you would have killed with that.
I got the pop, so I was like, I got greedy. I could have even made that maybe a second joke, but like I almost ruined the good. But like I got greedy, and I was like, yeah, let me keep going, and it was just silence.
Yeah, I did the same thing on the first round against Dalton. It was my last joke, which like Dalton almost cut me short, and I was like, no, you started, I get one more, and like that kind of broke the rhythm because we had like a rhythm going between us, but that kind of broke it. And then I had one more joke. I don't remember what it is right now, but I like did like an intro joke, and then I was like, I did the superheroes one, and that one did not land. And I was like, oh, like, and I was like, luckily, like I was like, it didn't cost me, but like it could have, because like I had it off of like just an initial whatever I called them, and then I said one too many things. And I was like, no.
One thing I noticed in the first round back in November for you and the other evening, like you were really good at having good jokes, but every time it was your turn, you would just hit him with okay, blank, like give him some kind of funny name.
Right. Like in the first round the first time I went around and I actually went up against Aaron Scholl in the early rounds.
Right.
I called him, what did I call him? I called him like Balding Millhouse.
Yeah.
And then
Walmart greeter, was it?
That was this time. Yeah. And then and last time I called, and then I would do a joke, but then I would call him like, I called him Autistic Where's Waldo last time.
Right.
And then I had a separate joke. And like, when you do something like that, when you like throw in a quick name, it's like, it's not like you're doing two whole jokes. It's like you do like a quick thing and then you can tell a joke. And especially if they're related.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can like mention a fat guy and then have a fat joke.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, I specifically remember that from the first round. I'm like, fuck, those were so good. Like each time you just had one ready.
Yeah.
And then had a good joke afterwards. So like, hell yeah.
Yeah. I watched a lot of like roast battle, like coming into it. Cause I was like, I want to know what's going on. And like, that's what they all do. They all like have a thing and then and I'm surprised when I watch roast battle, like the ones that they post and like sometimes they'll post ones that just totally bomb.
Yeah,
and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of, did you ever see the one with Ralphie May?
no.
There's one that he was in, and like I was super excited because Ralphie May he was funny as fuck. Like he was super funny, and like you could imagine him just like totally like murdering somebody, but his just weren't hitting. They just weren't very good. He was like he looks like his breath smells like horse cock or something like that. I was like, that's not like a good joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was very like playground ish, and it was like disappointing. I was like, man, like I don't know. It was rough because like. He was so goddamn funny.
Yeah, because he would go back and forth with all those New York guys. Yeah,
right. But it was surprising and disappointing. I don't know.
Yeah. Just gonna shit on Ralphie May.
I know.
Fucking guy, it's horrible.
Speaking ill of the dead. Back to the roast. Back to the roast.
He's still in it. Like he's still trying to roast.
Yeah, you're
everybody.
still in roast mode.
Dude.
I got something to prove now.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not just me and you this week.
I have apologized to some of my friends this month because I'm like, dude, sorry, this is just where my brain is. Like I've been like I'll walk in and I'll be like, I'll just say terrible things to my friends, and they're like, what's happening? And then you said I look like I abused my AI girlfriend.
Which credit to Zach Jack, that was a Zach Jack joke.
Oh really?
Yeah. He as soon as we were done our round, he was putting on his coat to leave, and I was like, "You cannot leave. You have to help me write jokes." And I talked him into staying, and so that was one of his.
Nice.
Yeah, he said you skipped out on his bar tab.
I told him I was going to get it. And then like by the time like I was going to go pay my tab and his, he was already gone. And then I paid mine, went out to the parking lot. He was almost in his car. So I was like, dude, I would have paid your tab. But anyway, yes, I want to give credit where credit. That was Zach Jack's joke.
Yeah. But I think what won it for me on the battle of me and you was I said you would be a pedophile if you could get over your social anxiety.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah,
that's really funny.
Yeah.
Especially for you.
Oh, fuck you. Now who's in roast mode?
You guys put me there.
But yes, that was good. There wasn't coming back from that one.
Yeah.
So where I screwed up, as you can see from this manifesto here, is that what happened was like I had actually typed up like Zach Jack, Craig, and Jeff, maybe one or two for you, and then there I had Zach Jack like helped me with a few. He actually just like gave me a couple, and then I had some that I just wrote there that night. And when we were going up, I didn't really pick and say, okay, I'm going to do these 5. So I did a couple that I knew I was going to do. I knew I was going to do the Cobra Kai one and that kind of thing. And then I just started like looking over my notes and trying to find one. And then and I fucking landed on like the wrong one that was completely out of context. It had nothing to do with you. It was actually one I had for Craig or the Kevin guy, because they're like burlier, bearded dudes. And it was
literally a joke about a beard.
Well, no. It was blah 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 looks like he is a responsible hunter who uses every part of the animal, especially the genitals. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just like a funny insinuation of bestiality, but no one laughed at that. It just completely died, and like it got nothing. And I was like, "Fuck!" I just like I think I turned to Zach and I was like, "I think I just lost that."
Oh, really?
I was like, I think I just like again not making excuses or taking away from like your victory, but it was painful knowing exactly where I fucked up. I wish I didn't know, and I was just like, eh. But I was
it'd be better if you didn't fuck up and still lost, because then you'd be like, well, I did my best.
Exactly.
But when you fuck up
I was pissed at myself because I didn't prepare enough, and like I was like, I don't feel like I did my. That's exactly it. Like it's like I'm like kicking myself. Like But again,
it's like at an open mic when you bomb because you fucked up your joke and you like stutter and you're like,
right.
Oh fuck! It's like, well, I don't even know if this joke's good now. I have to try it again.
Or the joke I've been doing for 2 years, the last show where I talk about our very hot fertility doctor, and I said, yes, our very hot daughter. There was no coming back from that.
It's a different joke.
Yeah. There was no recovery from that, and it's like I've been doing that joke for like 2 years now. Like, but yeah, I was frustrated with myself for like, you know what I mean. But overall, it was super fun.
Yeah,
and there was no coming back from the social anxiety joke.
Yeah, when you did that hunter joke though, I thought you did write it for me because it looks like I got like cop face. You know what I mean? Like I look like a certain way. So you're like, yeah, cops go hunting.
Yeah.
Right. And then like I was talking about with Jack. I was like, that wasn't the right one. He was like, yeah, it was what was the phrase he used? Like apropos of nothing. Like there was no prior context of you being a hunter. So it just like kind of...
I mean, maybe if he said that, like, you look like a cop, you probably go hunting too. Maybe it would have like...
Yeah, there was just no context to it, so it sounded like a joke about... you know what I mean? It wasn't...
Right. Yeah, because I did like, when I was roasting you, I had a joke about you being a mailman.
Right.
But you were definitely not one of the walkers.
Right. That was a good one too.
And then, so after that, I was like, I feel like I'm on Seinfeld. I was like, hello, Newman.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do that unless I explain that you're a mailman.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then also, like, I was literally back there in the corner and I went up to Alex Webb and I go, hello, Newman. And he just looks at me. He's like, what? And I was like, would that work? And he's like, oh, and I was like, no context. I just walked up and said it to him.
Right.
And then I was like, okay. So I was like, the thing is, it doesn't have context. So I was like, let me say I feel like I'm in Seinfeld. That joke didn't even go that well, but like that was the type of things that I was doing. You know?
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Which is funny because I was able to say hello, Larry, which rhymes with Jerry. Like it was like hello, Larry.
Oh, yeah. When you did that, I was like, yeah, you're getting the bit, but I didn't even put Jerry in it.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
You just say it different. Hello, Jerry. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there was any. Do you have a favorite one of your jokes from the night where you're like, I fucking am super proud of that one?
Well, dude, I really did a lot of homework with this, but like some of it was still coming up last minute. Like I went up against Aaron Scholl, and the joke that I think I won it on, I wrote it while I was walking on stage.
Nice.
And it was like, I think it was like the last one or second to last one. And I said, Aaron, I'm going to be honest, I didn't write a lot of jokes for you. I was like, I didn't think you'd make it this far. I thought you'd spend the whole time counting the ceiling tiles.
That one was good. I think that got a laugh from Earl too. That was good.
Yeah, like really good. And I was, I wrote all these jokes and then spent all this time, but I wrote that one literally walking onto the stage.
Nice.
And I was trying to come up with what is he counting? And like the floor kind of on the stage kind of looked like it had tiles, but it wasn't. It was just like sections of the glass.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then I was like, lights. I was trying to come up with what is he going to count? And I was like, ceiling tiles is the funniest thing to say.
Yeah.
But I was like, also on the stage, there's not ceiling tiles, but around where people were sitting, there were. I was like,
so they should get
I was like, I don't know if they'll get it or not.
Yeah.
Right.
But I'm sure some people just like heard ceiling tiles, looked up.
Yeah.
And then
so good.
Also, like they might look. It might be funny even if there weren't scenes because they know they get the joke.
Right.
Like it's a clear joke, so it's like if they looked up and be like, "Oh, there's not even ceiling tiles," that still might have been funny enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ceiling tiles is that hits.
Do you have? Well, that would, I don't. Yeah. I was gonna say, do you have one that you didn't use that we really like, but you probably don't want to burn one because in case you do another.
I mean, the chances of somebody listening to this and remembering.
Yeah.
Well, true. One of my favorites. It's such a silly, dumb joke, but it was one of the ones that I actually did have prepared for you was looks like you play cornhole professionally but have a losing record.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's such a dumb, silly joke, but like. To play cornhole professionally and then just not be good at it. Like I just thought that was, I don't know, it cracked me up, but it didn't really land. I just thought that was one of my favorites.
I had multiple ones for Dalton, like, but I was like, what am I going to use? And like, I thought about like mentioning the Super Bowl and being like, that's what Dalton eats out of. And what else did I think about? I wanted to say something about how he was a strip club bouncer there, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, and also people made other jokes, like in the in our first round when we went to the prelim one.
Right.
He went up against Raph, and Raph had like 5 minutes to write jokes about him.
Right.
And so not Dalton, but
Corey.
Yeah. And he said it looks like Corey works there for the food.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, and I was trying to come up with a joke that wasn't too close to that, just for like, no one would have remembered, but I was like,
yeah, but still,
I can't write the same premise, but I was like, I wrote, you look like you moved up from a carnival worker to a strip club bouncer. I didn't use it, but like it was on my list.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And it's like that, I can burn that. I'm never going to run into that situation again unless Dalton comes back and challenges me. Shout out Dalton, man. That dude's the man.
I got to take a shot at Corey too, just for fun, with Zach, because one of mine for Zach was Zach's actually a good guy. He has the mind of Gary Busey, the charm of Harvey Weinstein, and the looks of Corey Miller. And I looked at Corey. He was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. He was like, "What the hell?"
Catching strays.
Yeah. I wish I would have been like, I had to write all these ahead of time because like I'm not fast. I can't come up with shit on the spot all the time. Yeah. And I wish I would have said this. At one point, I'm going up against Aaron Scholl, and he says, "You look like you were in a rumble with the Sharks," which is like the Jets. Like, and I wish I would have said like, "When you're a Jet, you're a Jet." Like, I wish I could come up with something like that. I didn't. Well, but I gave props. I was like, "Dude, that's hilarious." Like, but that joke was like for an older crowd. Like, even Earl pointed out, he was like, "Dude, I loved it, but not everybody was going to get that one."
Right.
I liked when I came out and I said his stripper name was going to be Peekaboo because he never makes eye contact.
That was good.
Yeah. But that was fun, man. That was
for sure.
That was quite a night. And then you didn't stay for the open mic, did you?
I did not. I do want to shout out the judges.
Holy hell, when was it over? When was the show?
It actually didn't go crazy late.
Oh, okay.
I was home at 11.
Oh, okay. Oh,
so
damn.
I thought for sure seeing like 16 people was like all these rounds, and we ended up having to wait for dude. I was like, motherfucker, I'm not like, so yeah, I didn't stay for the mic because I was done at that point.
Yeah, it was supposed to start, it says it was starting at 7. It started at probably like 7:15.
Okay.
And it probably ended at like 10.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I just looking at the bracket, I was like, oh, that's going to be like fucking 11 o'clock.
Well, like luckily the judges knew what was up, and they would be like, they would make a joke. They would say who won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's the one thing is like I would watch these roast battles on YouTube, and you might only watch actually like 3 battles.
Yes.
And it's like an hour-long video because each judge will like have a monologue.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, hopefully we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But like, no, the judges like kept it moving.
And shout out like Earl's a great judge, and then the 3 original judges, Eddie Diesel, Damian Robinson, and Dom Driscoll. But Karen had some of the best jokes of the night.
She had some zingers.
She was crushing people. She wasn't afraid to call out people. She was like, next time maybe try to write some jokes. Like she was just like crushing people.
Yeah, she's mean. Have you met her?
She was.
I love you, Karen.
Yeah, she was awesome. I think my biggest pop of the night was from her. I don't even think it was any of my roast jokes, because when we were up, she, you're actually physically fit, and I'm me, and and she was like, both. I just have to say, both these guys are wearing tight shirts, but only one of them is tight for the good reason. So I came back with, do you remember what tight was like?
yeah, and she hated that.
Yeah, she. It was funny. She was the only judge that had voted for me, and then she changed her vote. She's like, "All right, fuck you. I'm voting for Larry."
Yeah, dude. And like, did you actually saved me? Because when she said about my shirt being tight, I started being like, "Ooh, what up, Karen?" And then like she shot me a look, and I was like, "Oh, don't do that." Like, and then you said that, and like she forgot all about hating me.
That would have been funnier if it was a tie until you fucking said it.
Right. I mean, I had already lost because the first three judges had already picked him. So like, it was a pity vote for me.
It would be hilarious though if it was tied, and then she's like, "Well, you just lost."
Dude, I don't know if he said this about the preliminary round we were both in, but Sarah mentioned the podcast.
Right.
And and friggin' Dom goes, "I didn't know the podcast was about you guys being mailmen."
I remember that. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Dude, that was such a good one. But yeah, Karen was on fire. Everybody had good jokes, man. And do you know what, dude? I got to go buy some new sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Because Damien kept being like, "I'm going to judge the sneaker game first." And like, luckily, like, these are acceptable.
Right.
And like, I point at these because these are the only shoes I have. And
all black. They look good.
Yeah, they're all black Adidas that I bought from Ross.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they got the toe cap, and you don't skate.
Yeah. No, I used to, but I sucked.
I still do, and I still suck.
Nice. But yeah, no, I moved up from Gabriel Brothers to Ross. So like,
hell yeah.
so like, I'll just like the other day I was buying something with my kids, and I was like, "Hey, hold on." I just pulled into Ross, and I was like, "Let me just go look." And I just looked. I didn't even need anything, but I was like, "Let me just go look at the shoes." And I was like, "Nah, there's still nothing. Like, it's very hit or miss." But like,
I've never.
There's
no at Ross.
Like, we got another roast battle coming up on March 30th, and it's going to be New York versus Pennsylvania.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And dude, I'm going to have to buy shoes because if I show up in the same shoes, Damien's going to deduct points.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm thinking if you should go Tim's or not. Probably not.
No, I can't pull off Tim's.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I don't like basketball shoes. Like, it's just too colorful, too many things going on. Like, I'm like a plain black shoe guy. And
as long as they're not Air Force Ones, you should be good.
Why?
Because you're not supposed to wear all black Air Force Ones. That's like serial killer shit.
I'll do that. I do have a joke that I've been trying to do, and in one part of it, I mentioned like I'm like Dexter, and like I hope people like kind of catch that I'm, and then I'm like, no, not the killer part. I'm like the dead inside, like I pretend I have feelings part. And I forget where I was going with that.
Yeah. Shoes.
The shoes. But like, yeah, I can't buy weird different shoes. Like it's like Converse, these. That's pretty much. Yeah. That's all I'm allowed to do.
All I'm allowed to do.
Like even though like remember like the checkered was it Vans?
Yeah, the slip-ons.
Dude, I always loved those. Everyone who wore those, I was like, "You're cool as hell." And then I would go to the store, I would put them on, I would look in the mirror and be like, "Nah."
It might just be in your head. I feel like you could pull off.
Nah, I'm like, "Nah, it's not it. I can't do it." I love them. I'm like, every time I see them, like, those are cool shoes, but I can't put them on, dude.
It's so funny for like $20 shoes to be unobtainable for somebody.
I can't do it, dude.
I just can't. I can't wear them. I always wanted them.
I can't pull it off.
That's so funny.
That's good self-awareness, I guess. Like,
Like,
I think it's body dysmorphia.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I do have a weird style. Everyone was making fun of me for the tight shirts and stuff, and I was like, I don't know. That's how I like to wear it. Like,
it's so funny. I feel like I've never really noticed that you wear tight shirts.
Like I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like. Like I'm tall enough. I should be in larges, the shirts are right at the belt. But it's like if I go like this, you're seeing some belly.
I guess now I'm gonna notice. That's
I'm gonna wear shorter shirts around me. I'm gonna show up in a belly shirt tomorrow. I'm gonna show up to the Comedy Zone in a belly shirt,
a crop top V-neck.
Yeah, dude.
Look like you're at a music festival.
No sleeves. It's gonna be pink. Yeah.
Acid water, like a tie dye.
Yeah. Man, what were we talking about right before that?
Shoes.
Still talking about shoes? I can't remember.
There was something else.
Before the shoes.
It doesn't matter.
So yeah, I guess you said you'd been doing mostly the Zone and Church of Satire or something like that.
Yeah, so Church of
Don't
Satire.
you have a show coming up?
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna be there on April 4th. They're doing the baptism show.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, Dom just posted about it today, so I shared that.
Nice.
And yeah, let me see who's on it real quick.
Yeah, but is that the one, or was that the one before Kirk Sparrow was on? Or Spiro? I forget how to pronounce his name.
I don't know their whole schedule.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry.
All right, now we're all in roast mode. I don't know their entire schedule.
I'm not in charge over
I'm
there.
just trying to think. I think it was like recently because I know he was at like Fandom Power, like like working on stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do that from time to time. You do, since you don't know their schedule, maybe you don't know how often they do that show. But
No, it's it's the baptism show. It's Lyric Marie, Dom Soleski, Brett Matthews, Sam Grimm, and me.
Nice.
And I hope I said those names right because I only know Brett Matthews.
yeah. Brett with one T.
Yeah, one T Brett.
It's weird, isn't it? It's always two T's.
Where's he hiding the other one?
He has low T.
And
Low T.
low T, and Dom's gonna be hosting that, so that'll be good.
So high T.
Yeah, man.
So when you started, like, who? Well, it hadn't been that long. Like, who were your comics that you like looked up to? Who inspired you to start? Who were you a fan of?
Yeah. So growing up, like we had cable on and off. Mm-hmm. We were one of those, and whenever we had cable, like it was Comedy Central. I was like, we're watching Comedy Central like nonstop, like all the half hours that they would just repeat the whole summer. You know what I mean? Like I was raised by TV. Like
Yep.
So
Me too.
so it was all that, and then when I just one night I was hanging out with this is after high school. I was hanging out with my wife and her parents, and we were staying up. We were watching HBO. We were just watching comedy on HBO, and everyone had racked out, and I just kept watching, and a Louis special came on.
Nice.
It was like an old one. This was like 2007, and he came on, dude. I was like, what is this? Like Louis C.K. was like, dude, he was like nothing I've ever seen. I was like, this is nuts. And then like his show came on, the original Lucky Louie show.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched that, and then like Louis to me is like one of the most creative dudes ever. Like then when his show on FX came out, I loved that show, and even his show he did for even some of the shows he produced for other people were good because he produced like a bunch of different FX shows.
Right.
I didn't realize that actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of the one. One of them was Galifianakis. He had a show on FX at the time.
Damn, I didn't even know he had a show on FX.
Yeah, he was like a clown.
Oh shit! No, I didn't know that.
But he was like shitty at being a clown. Like, that was the whole point of it.
Yeah, I can picture it. That sounds fantastic.
So like Louis was in that. Oh, and Pamela Alden, she had her own show, and I love that. Like, and Louis just like stayed out of it. He was like, "This is your show. You do it." You know what I mean? He just backed her. You know, he was always good for that. And but like him, like obviously Mitch Hedberg, like all these early guys. Like the first couple CDs I bought when I was like in high school. Like I bought 2 comedy albums. I bought Mitch Hedberg's first half hour on Comedy Central, which like they edited it down so like the CD was longer. Yeah, and then and it came with the DVD, and then also the same thing for Dane Cook's first special.
Oh yeah, because he went like long as fuck in real time.
The Dane Cook one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
he was supposed to do like a half hour, but I think I remember if I remember correctly, it was like a real bad like experience for him. Like they were like super shitty about it and like really like, and he was like, all right, fuck you then. And then he wanted his, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. His energy that night, he was like, to me, that was what made him famous.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, his next special was more famous, and then he was on like different stuff.
Yeah.
But like to me, like when I saw that special, when I saw that half hour, I was like, dude, to me, it's his best work.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this was insane. And then when you watch like the extended version, he was doing stuff just to fuck with the camera people. He was like flipping off the cameras and then moving them around.
He grabbed the camera. Yeah, he like grabbed it, and they were like, they were not.
Yeah.
But I think they just like had to put it out because they were relying on that content.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah, there
But
was
the
another
edited
thing.
down version is like, it's so good.
Yeah, and like, what's it called? I think he had fans there, and they were like, "No, we only want like." Man, I hope I'm not making this up, but I think he like had like people there to see him, and they like didn't want them near the front, so they wouldn't let like his fans be in the front. They wanted Comedy Central people. I don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? It's just like industry bullshit.
Yeah.
And like the whole thing was like that, and that's why I think he was supposed to wear like more clothes, but then he like took it off and wore a tank
he's wearing
top.
a black tank top.
Yeah.
He looked like an ape up there, dude. He was
Yeah, it was
nuts.
like it was like a whole like the entire thing was like a fuck you to Comedy Central, if I remember correctly. I'm mad that I can't remember that quite so well, but I think it was like kind of pretty punk rock, that whole like situation.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of like whatever like they needed the show.
Right.
So like they didn't have a choice but to put it out, so they had to, I guess, edit it down.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was where when I was a kid, those are the guys I was watching, and like I was loving it. And then then you would just listen to like Pandora. You would just listen to Pandora comedy like all day while you'd be working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all that stuff. And now my favorite comic right now is Jordan Jensen.
She's very funny.
Dude.
Yeah.
Can't believe and the stuff she's just for like the last 2 years, she's just been churning material out. Like between all the crazy little clips.
Yeah.
She had the Gas Digital half hour.
Okay, I gotta see that.
She has a 20-minute chunk out called the Death Chunk that she was like, this is a whole thing put together, and she was like, it doesn't really go in the hour.
Yeah.
Because she's like she's gonna record an hour soon.
Nice.
She's the one that does the show with Ian, right?
Yeah, Ian
okay,
Fidance.
I don't want to be the wrong person.
Being Ian with Jordan.
Well, isn't it called something else now?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if they changed the name at some point, didn't they?
Every fourth episode they talk about changing it, and they never do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought originally it was a different name, and then maybe they just added with Jordan. That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you guys like right now though? And who'd you like growing up?
Growing up was Carlin.
Yeah, I had like a Carlin box set that I would just listen to in my car. Yeah. It was like all the early stuff.
Believe it or not, when I was a little kid, Gallagher, because he was just silly.
Yeah,
He's
you're
like
a teenager. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Trying to think.
Can I have
I'm
that?
Blanking. Have what?
Can I have that?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you. You want this?
I'm blanking completely right now.
That's
all right.
So yeah, somebody actually just asked me this on Monday. It was this kid. I don't know why I said kid. I hate when you say kid. He's probably not. He might be young. I think I might be getting to that age where it makes sense to call people kids.
Yeah, dude.
That's not a good feeling.
Well, when you walk into a bar, do you feel like do you feel like there's children in there now?
I usually don't go to those bars.
No, like
I know what you mean.
Even
but
like
I usually
like I just mentioned Champions a little while ago.
Yeah.
Like that's like kind of like a hometown bar. Like when you go there,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
When you go there, you always see people like you went to high school with, and you're like, "Ew, let me get out of here."
Yeah.
Right.
But last time I went there, like I was like looking around, and I was like, "Dude, can these kids even drive?" Like I was amazed. Like.
It depends on the bar, but I know for sure. I never thought about it till right now. But yeah, you're right.
Like, do you think you're old yet?
No, not yet.
Do you know when I thought I got old?
When?
26.
Now I feel old, but I'm like, I know that I'm just lying about being lazy. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh man, I'm getting old. Like I don't fucking skate anymore. It's like, no, you're just lazy. Like that's you played Resident Evil. That's not old behavior. Like,
right.
But no, I know what you're saying. Depends on the bar. If I go to a place where like fucking college kids are hanging out for sure.
Right,
And it's mostly the dudes, just because college dudes. It's like,
college
these are
dudes.
children.
Shout out Dalton Gross.
Dog growth. No, I was just talking to him last time I was at the Zone, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I was 26 and I was like I went to the mall and when Colonial Park Mall was like happening,
People still went to
malls. And I went to PacSun, and I would always just go and then just check out the clearance section. That's all I would do because I've always been just super cheap. And so I get there and I'm checking it out, and I'm like, I can't wear any of this. Like getting with like the shoes thing. Like at the time, like the shirts were just like AK-47s printed across shirts and shit. And I was just like,
okay, I know exactly what
exactly what era I'm talking about.
Because I tried it.
You were probably trying it.
For years I tried it.
Yeah.
It's not me.
No,
the all
exactly.
over print.
Yes, the all over print.
I have school pictures in. I had this shirt. I fucking loved this shirt. It was a chocolate skateboard shirt, and it was an all over print checkered. I can't believe I didn't think of this when you talked about the slip-ons.
Yeah.
But it was an all over print chocolate shirt, and chocolate's a skateboard company, but it was checkers, and it was literally red, bright red and white. It was red, and it was a checkerboard instead of black. It was red.
Wow.
And it was hideous, and that was in my school pictures.
Yeah, so I went and saw shirts like that, and I was like, I'm not doing this.
I didn't have the self-awareness.
And I walked out of the store, and I walked down to Sears like an old man, and I bought a plain gray T-shirt.
I bought a polo, and I got a job.
No, I've always had jobs, man.
You do.
Yeah, that was one thing. Like, as soon as I got out of high school, dude, I had 3 jobs. Like, I was because I was like, I grew up poor, and I was like, that ain't happening anymore.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. So right away, I just started working like a freaking dog, man.
Yeah, I always worked in high school, like at a restaurant or whatever, and I worked 4 days a week minimum.
Yeah.
Just didn't have, because we didn't have, I mean, I wasn't poor. We had everything we needed, but they didn't spend money on me.
Right.
So like I didn't get like they spent money. I never didn't know we were gonna have a meal or whatever.
Right.
But I didn't get like toys when I didn't like say, hey mom, can I get this? It was like, hey, can I get this? They're like, well, what are you gonna do for it?
Yeah.
And like
it was like chore stuff.
Yeah. And then also no. Like it was like, you know what I mean? I got like gifts for Christmas, shit like that for sure. But like I definitely had friends that would get like video games, toys anytime they wanted. So as soon as I was allowed to get a job, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So I could buy video games.
Totally.
And I just never looked back.
Yeah, that's all my job was PlayStation 2.
Yes. I wanted Metal Gear Solid and Resident Evil games as soon as they came out. Yeah.
Dude, I'm fighting the urge to like go back and like just put on my computer download Metal Gear Solid right now. No,
do it. Yeah.
I won't write any jokes.
It's gonna write jokes about Metal Gear Solid. They won't bomb. Hey, you guys know about riding? Like,
you guys know about hiding in a box?
what do you? That's actually has potential. That might be funny. What do you guys know about hiding in a box? It's just stupid. It doesn't. Yeah. But no, I'm trying to think. Dane Cook was one of my first favorite comedians. I had like Vicious Circle on my iPod video.
Yeah.
What's it called? Chris Rock was one of like the first comedians I remember. And he's still to this day one of my favorite. I mean, probably my favorite. It's probably the easiest to say my favorite just because of it's Chris Rock or whatever.
Right.
Early on, I'm trying to think like Chappelle, but like more Chappelle's show early on because he didn't just do the comedy specials that he does now.
Right, because back then comedy specials were on HBO, so for me, like that's inaccessible.
I never even
like,
saw that. You know,
yeah.
I didn't see Killing Him softly till like a few years ago. you
Right.
know? Yeah, the Blue Collar Comedy Tour was big because my parents liked it. So
I remember when that came in. That was one
we
of those
had that on
times.
DVD.
That was one of those times that I didn't have cable, and so then like I remember like I went to summer school. And like the kids from like a more redneck school district, it was at CD, it was at Votech. So it was a bunch of different schools would all go to Votech at the same time.
Yeah.
And I would run into these like little hick kids, and that's all they did.
Get her done.
That's all they did was yell. Get her. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then I went over to someone's house with cable, and I was like, "Oh, that's what this is.
Yeah.
This was on every single day."
Hell yeah.
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 Now I feel old because I remember being much younger before the Blue Collar Comedy Tour and sitting around the table with my aunt and my brother and she had gotten the Jeff Foxworthy, like, You Might Be a Redneck tape, cassette tape. And we just sat at the kitchen table and just listened to it, and it was hilarious. And I remember listening to that multiple times. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the Cosby cassette tape.
How old are you? 37?
I'm 37.
Okay, so we're like almost in between each other.
Right.
You're 41. You're just 40.
42.
Okay.
43 in October.
42. Yeah, 42, 37, 31.
Yeah, but like here's the thing: when you're poor, it's kind of like you're going through like a time loop, like because you're getting all the things from like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're basically the same. Like we got all the same references.
Yeah, you grew up with his stuff.
Yeah. I grew up with all your
My
toys,
hand-me-downs.
dude. Yeah,
You're welcome.
yeah, man. Thanks for the glove. And like, yeah, dude. Like I grew up. Like I was talking about, like the TV raised me. Like, dude, I watched The Simpsons. From the time I was 4 years old. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember a time where I didn't watch Simpsons. And like watching The Simpsons when you're 5 years old is like it's like going to Hershey Park and riding the Great Bear first, and then you ride the Ola roller coaster, and so you're like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get front row Great Bear, like you're not gonna have a better time that day. Like, but like so then other kids would be like, oh, we're gonna watch Doug, and I'd be like, Doug?
Right.
I was like, you're gonna watch Doug? like a 2-year-old? Like I was, I'm like 7, and I'm like, you guys are babies. Like
Are you gonna watch Family Guy like a 5-year-old? I don't understand.
No, Family Guy. Like I was such like a Simpsons head when Family Guy came around. It took me a while to like switch over.
Right.
We've talked about it on here before. I was always like that. I liked like Cartoon Network cartoons and fucking hated everything else. I don't know why. I just had this crazy biasm for like only Channel 50.
Yeah.
Biasm? Is that a word?
Bias? I guess not. I know biased is a word. I thought biasm was a word as well.
It is now.
It is now.
So.
Yeah, I'm making that shit. but yeah, I guess it is just biased in that form. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I'm just stupid. I wasn't educated. I was raised by Cartoon Network.
I mean, we don't judge if you are bi. Like, that's cool. Like I don't know if that's like what biasm is either. And I don't know if that's what it is either. But
I mean, we support your pronouns. Yeah. So.
Whatever they are. Biasm. Racist only against bisexual people. I don't believe them. I think they're greedy. Just
yeah, man.
I think there is I'm not going to speak for the gay community, but I've heard that some people in the gay community look down on bi because it's like, pick a side.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that before. I'm sure. Yeah, it's mostly a joke. I'm sure. But
Right.
No, I have heard that.
There's a real funny podcast to listen to. It's called Some of This Is Bad, dude, and it's 2 gay comics out of Austin, and they're the type that would make it. They're like,
yeah,
lesbians. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, were you about to say something?
Nope.
I remember when Brooks was interviewing us for like our 100th episode.
Oh, you did ask. Will you remember that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You did ask who we like now.
Yeah, who you like
I'm
now?
trying to think. You mean
like who's like popping off right now? Like, cause like DeStefano's out there putting out a video like every Sunday. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
like,
know he put out a special a while ago. I think I watched it. Yeah, it was like solid. Yeah, it was really good.
Right. There's people.
Sam Morril is definitely become one of my favorites.
Sam Morril's like up there. Yeah, Sam Morril's like.
Oh fuck! I will. I'll say I got my answer. I almost was like, "There's no way I have an answer for this." Fucking dude, Ari Shaffir.
Oh my god! I think Ari Shaffir. Yeah, he's like.
I didn't like him or anything like that, but I wasn't like wowed as like and it's a shitty thing to say, but I just like didn't like. I was just like whatever about like his comedy, and then like when he made Jew, I was like, this is like the best. It was like one of the best comedy specials I've ever seen. Did you see?
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, I thought like Jew was like fucking phenomenal. I mean, it was like, in my opinion, it was like a perfect special. It was like special. It was very unique. It was literally only. It was like it's like a work of art, like through and through. I thought I was like, this is unbelievably good.
Yeah,
and it's like all on one topic. I mean, it's like an hour on basically one topic, fucking full of jokes. Like there's no lulls. I mean, I was like, this is like fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I just was like blown away by that special.
Yeah.
And then his last special was like really good too, America's Sweetheart or whatever.
Yeah. My favorite was Double Negative.
Yeah.
It's on
It's been
Netflix.
a minute since I've seen. That's the one that was on Netflix, right?
Yeah, and it's 2 1-hour specials. But dude, I freaking that's one of the ones I'll just pop on every once in a while.
I just listened to the one before that. When did that come out?
Good question. Probably like 8 years ago.
Okay, because I listened to one the other day for the first time that it was either older or newer than that one. Mm-hmm. Was that the one he
Dude,
did
I'm so bad with time.
Jew?
I'm so bad with time that I said 8 years ago. I bet it's like 15 years. I have no idea. Dude, time flies. I have no idea. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying I don't know if it's before or after that one, but it is before or after. Was that the one before Jew?
Yeah, that was
okay. Then
Jew.
it was before that.
Yeah,
because it wasn't that. So
because Jew he was going to put out, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
Or he got busted for the Kobe thing.
Yeah. Busted. That's a funny one. He got busted.
He got busted. And then COVID
Not for
happened.
dosing Bert Kreischer. He got busted for saying mean things about Kobe Bryant.
Oh man. Yeah. There was a while that I had to be when someone would start talking comedy with me, I would like be like, all right, and then they'd be like, well, who? And I'd be like, here's the thing. I'm an Ari fan. Like I was like, after he dosed him, I was like, I don't know, dude. He's still fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I wasn't like super into him for no actual reason. But like when I saw that special, I was like, holy shit, it's just unbelievable to me. Yeah. I've seen it like 3 times. I've watched it. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's like a weird thing to say who's popping because he's been around for like 20 years, but that's just like the one that I'm like, everything like, and like after that special, like the new one, I was like, wow, this is fucking really good. Also, like this is like, it's just like, wow, this is like a fucking real comic. I mean, they're all real comics, but
yeah. I've been a podcast comedy nerd for a long time. Like I was always trying to get my friends to like, hey, let's go to Philly. Like this dude, Andrew Schultz is coming. He makes fun of everyone in the crowd. Let's go sit front row. And all my friends would be like, no.
Yeah. Now he's the biggest comic in the world.
I'm like, we could have saw him for $25. Like if you would have just listened to me.
Yeah.
So like now for me, like that's what like Jordan Jensen is. I'm like, dude, we got to go see her. Like, because she's going to be the next one who's in a theater. And like, look, I love all the comics who are doing theaters, but like when you get to see them in the club, it's just better.
Right. And it's
just better in a comic club.
I'm not gonna lie. I've seen what I guess just once. Once I saw Rogan in an arena.
Yeah.
I don't need to see comedy in an arena anymore.
No.
There was nothing wrong with it, but it was just like, dude, with that many people, I need to be seeing fucking Metallica or something. Yeah. Like it needs to be like for
something
comedy,
that will drown out the idiots around you.
Yes, and then also it's like there's so many people. It's such a pain in the ass. Like I don't even get to go to Steelers games as much as I want to because of that, and then the money. That's the big part. I don't know what I'm saying. It's the money. It's the money. It's definitely the money. Yeah. But like I don't go to concerts. I mean, if I'm dealing with that many people, it's got to be worth. It's right. I can see funny comedy every fucking Monday, Thursday. Like I could just go to, you know what I mean? Like I can see my friends do comedy for free.
I feel like too, like they have to adjust their timing for an arena versus a club. Like it feels differently if you saw the same comic in a club versus an arena.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. Yeah.
I have my normie friends. They were like, "Let's go see Nate Bargatze," and I was like, "Okay." Yeah. So we went, and it was in the Giant Center, and it was like huge. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it was fun. It was whatever. And then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go see Mark Norman." Because I showed him, I was like, Mark Norman's funny, and they were like, "Well, he's coming to town. Do you want to see him?" And like, I'm such a comedy nerd that like it wasn't that hard to figure out though, because he was going around on his podcast being like, "I don't have anything. I'm just going out there and doing bullshit." And and it was a theater tour, and he was like, and my friends were like, "Do you want to go?" And they didn't know what I knew, and I was like, "No, I'm not going to go." And they went, and they were like, "He did a lot of crowd work." I was like, I wasn't going to discourage you because they should still go.
Right.
Because they're like, their lane is more into the mainstream
Yes,
anyway.
yeah.
Like it's hard for me to get anyone to come out to anything that I'm like, dude, you got to go see this guy next. Like I called so many of them, my friends didn't listen. It was so annoying.
No, yeah, it is annoying. Yeah. Especially, yeah, it's also annoying when people are like, they'll be like, yeah, it was like, and I get it because like some of it, I remember my brother went to see Ron White years ago, and he was like, kind of like saying, he's like, yeah, it was like some of the stuff wasn't that good. I'm like, yeah. And I get it. I understand why they wouldn't understand what we know about comedy. We know what they're doing. But like, yeah, dude, Ron White was working shit out in theaters because he was in theaters.
Yeah.
Not everybody was doing theaters then. That was like the fucking like early 2000s. It's not like there was like 25, 50 comics doing theaters. It was like Ron White, the blue collar dudes, fucking Louis, like Jane Cook, like a handful of people doing theaters, and he was literally working material out in theaters, which is wild.
Right.
But like, yeah, I mean, that's what that is. It's like he's trying stuff out. I mean, I don't even know if he was, I don't think he was, I think he was talking about that. Like, yeah, he's like, I was just fucking going, and I thought this money was going to run out. So I was doing all of the shows.
Right.
Like I'm doing as many shows as I can.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
who else I was really into was Eddie Izzard.
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about that dude. I just know him by name.
Dude, if you go back and you watch his old specials.
Is he still he?
I don't know.
Alrighty.
I don't know how that works. But we'll just say their specials were
for sure.
Dude, it's so good. Like the old ones were so good.
Yeah, I'm not making fun. I just didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know because he would just come out.
He would
wearing
be
women's clothes and stuff like that. But
yeah, it wasn't until later that I think he might have said, I don't know.
Right.
I could barely pay attention.
Yeah,
that's the problem, dude. Is like I'm like I was like, what age do you get old? Like. Because like I don't pay attention to anything that's going on like in the culture, and so like for me to know about the only reason I knew about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing was because of comedy, because of listening to the comics make fun of it, listening to podcasts make fun of it, and then like we're watching the Super Bowl with my friends, and they were like, I don't know who that guy is.
That's so funny.
It was a room full of white people being like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't know this guy? And I was like, you don't know these songs? And they knew like one song. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, I've never been the most cultured guy in a room. Like,
that's super funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not that mainstream. I mean, I knew about him, but I love hip hop and shit. So like, of course. But yeah, why would you?
Yeah.
He's not like Jay-Z.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's not like that mainstream. He's like a very mainstream, I don't even know what, you know what I mean? It's weird. Culture's weird. It's like, I don't.
Yeah. Like I used to listen to like a lot of punk rock and stuff. And then like, as I'm getting older, I'm definitely getting softer. And like I love Daft Punk.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so then from like Daft Punk.
I gotta fucking listen to Daft Punk. A lot of bands and artists I respect love Daft Punk.
Oh, dude. I'm not going to do it now because we will go for 7 hours. But dude, I'm a Daft Punk nerd.
Hell yeah. I'll listen to some and then I'll talk to you at one of the mics.
Okay. I'll bore you to death, dude.
Hell yeah.
Could I ask you a question? You said you were really into punk.
Yeah.
Did you have, or did you experience other people having like a hatred towards Pantera? I feel like a lot of like punk people, like I wasn't super into punk, and I feel like friends or people who were into punk, I would see like punk bands like literally on stage making fun of Pantera. And I didn't know if that was like a thing in the punk community.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Nothing you experienced?
No.
All right. Maybe it was
no.
Just,
I had a little band for a little bit. We were called the Toaster Sluts.
Nice. Nice.
But like
so punk.
Yeah, man. And when my drummer, when she caught her third DUI, she was like, I'm skipping town. And like, and that was all she wrote for the Toaster Sluts, man. And but after that, I never even kept up with playing guitar. Like, I see you got a bunch of guitars here.
Right.
Like, I never even kept up with it. But where I was going was like, culturally, like, I don't pay attention. So like from Daft Punk, I branched off to a couple other artists, and I was like, dude, you got to hear this song. And I played it for my friend, and he was like, dude, this is The Weeknd. And I was like, oh, you know The Weeknd? Like, I had no idea.
very big artist. That's very funny.
Yeah, I was
Also
like,
did the Super Bowl a few years
Yes.
ago.
it was before the Super Bowl. It was
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the Super Bowl. But I was like, oh, you know this song? Like, it was Dawn FM. Like that whole album's like sick. Like,
Yeah, I actually know nothing about The Weeknd. I know him from features,
okay.
like on other people's. Oh, he was on this Juicy J album. I had a fucking sick song on that album, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny because like, and so that's the thing I'm trying to figure out, like, comedy wise. I'm like, is it funny that I don't know what's happening, or is it?
Yeah.
Or am I
It
supposed
can
to?
be.
Is
It can
my- like, so I'll have jokes where I just go, I don't really know what's going on out there. I do this one right now, and it's just to like see what happens. I go, I don't know what really what's going on right now. I was like, are we still doing autism? And then from there I can go a couple.
That's
different
funny
ways,
because
but, like,
yes.
yeah, because
Very yes.
yeah, but I'm thinking like sometimes I can see the future a little bit, and like I'm thinking like the next one's definitely going to be like bipolar. Everyone's all of a sudden going to be bipolar. Because when we were
I think
kids,
I saw you trying to work that
yeah,
out.
when we were kids, everyone had ADHD.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like then everyone was autistic.
Everyone
It's like,
also says, "Oh, that's my OCD" or whatever, and like with
Yes.
no diagnosis
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Well, I thought about. I don't like want to, unless I can try to make it funny, but I don't think I can because I always think I had this like thought about trying to work a bit out about OCD, about like that's one of those things that like so people are really offended when they say like shit. I'm trying to think of an example, but like they think like I'm not gonna be able to think of an example, but people like will use terms and it's like, well, that's not like you don't even understand where that term comes from. It's not funny for you to like keep saying that. Right. OCD is like one that should be one of those terms.
really?
Yeah, because OCD is fucking horrible. Anybody who has OCD, it's like a problem. It's like not. It's not like
right.
like it's funny to say like, oh, I'm autistic because I like focus.
Yeah, like when Tyler was on, like
if
it's
you-
something he struggles with, and yeah,
it's horrible, and that's like
Right.
not even as bad as it can be, especially because like a lot of the things that one thing that causes OCD is like sexual abuse, and it's like you're fucking you're throwing this term around, and just because you want your can in the right spot, that is not OCD.
That's not OCD.
And it's like
Right,
there's
right.
no way I'm gonna turn that into a bit.
Yeah, because that's part of where I'm trying to think of how to do it too. Because some people are just a dick, and then they're like, no, I'm autistic, and it's like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like.
No, that's funny.
Yeah, like a Nazi salute. Like, oh yeah, that's just my autism. It's like that's wild. I've never seen an autistic person do that before.
Yeah.
Start speaking, Das is good. If
I mean,
sorry, I'm autistic.
Apparently Hitler was artistic, but not like.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I just I've thought about. I just think it's like a funny, kind of like a funny premise, but there's no fucking. I just have no angle on it.
Right.
About how horrible, all the things that people are offended when you mention OCD should be number one on the list because it probably means they were fucking molested. Like
right.
it's not a good thing. Like it's not good. Yeah, but there's no funny there. You know what I mean?
Oh, the question I was going to ask about that Andrew asked us. I actually don't remember if he asked you or if you gave an answer. So he was saying that Lennon has this theory that like you kind of take your two favorite comics, and that's kind of how you start and find your voice and start working within that realm. Who would be your two that either like have informed how you do it or that you strive for? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't know. I mean, there's guys who like come out and they just have like super original voices, and it's like it's amazing. There's a guy who comes to the Coexist mic. I'm not gonna remember his name right now, but dude, he shows up. He doesn't go anywhere else for comedy. He just shows up every once in a while. This thing, and he is just like naturally like a presence on stage. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like I go up and I'm like, I don't have any presence. I'm just, I just need to say the things to make the people. Yeah. This guy, he shows up anyway. But like, I love Theo. I love the way like Theo Von comes in from left field. Like, especially like early Theo, like if you like listen to like the podcasts he would get on like early on before people really knew him. The best part, I would like love it because it would be like he would go on like Andrew Schultz and Schultz doesn't know him.
Right.
And when you get to see someone experience like how his brain works for the first time, they can't get over it.
Yeah.
And so
It's very fun. The clips of him blowing people away is very fun.
like I wish I could be like that, but I'm probably not like that. So I would say I don't know. I would say if I was I'm trying not to be like anybody.
Sure.
But if you say I'm like someone, it's probably a very shitty, watered down version of like Burr mixed with maybe CK or something.
Word.
Yeah, I don't know, but
it's not about like necessarily like imitating. It's just like kind of like the either a philosophy or stylistically.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm embarrassed right now already.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you ever.
I don't think I have because it's hard. It's
hard to say because then it sounds corny when you say it.
Do you think I sound like anybody or did or
not really? No,
because
it's not a literal thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
I think it would probably be if I had to answer, it would probably end up being like probably like I don't know, Louis C.K. and like Chris Rock or something. Even though I'm nothing like either of them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
but
I was like, you don't pace.
I know I don't. I want to move around more. I move like very little. I do want to try to move around a little bit more. I don't need to pace,
Right.
but yeah, I don't.
Like some guys, they go up on stage and you like look at them and you're like, you're doing a Nate Bargatze,
Yes.
you're doing a this guy,
Shane Gillis.
You're doing a Shane Gillis.
A lot of new comics.
Yeah, a lot of new comics doing Shane Gillis.
Yeah, but a lot of this.
So
I've caught myself doing like, ugh.
I know, and it pisses me off because it's like it's a natural. It's like I've done it before, and I'm like, I've been doing comedy for 2.5 years. Why am I doing Shane Gillis right now? Like,
is there anybody I remind you of when I'm standing up there?
Not specific.
Okay, because I didn't think so. I just had to come up with an answer because you asked a question.
Yeah. Like, I'll give my example because like of how I'm thinking because I don't. You probably accuse me of ripping off one, but my two, as far as like my two favorites who like kind of like inspired me to do it would be Jesselnick and Stanhope.
Okay.
And I wished what I would strive for is somewhere in between. Mm-hmm. Both are dark, and I like dark humor, but one is very like clean, polished. Both are smart, but
and
like
one is let's say not.
Right, and then Stanhope, like I think I said this to Brooks, like Stanhope is like the scenic route, and Jesselnick is like the bullet train.
Right.
It's where it's like there's no fat on Jesselnick. It's very like precise. Jesselnick's show is like manicured to be perfect, and I don't think Stanhope has ever done the same show twice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I so like the two things I would want to take is like smart, polished, trim the fat, but then also be loose enough to be in the moment. So that's I don't think I emulate them. I do have some dark one-liners, so you could say I rip off Jesselnick.
But anybody with dark one-liners sounds like you're ripping off Jesselnick.
Right. But I certainly don't sound like Stanhope.
No.
But I would want to have some balance of that.
Yeah, I would say
so. That's where I was coming from the question. Not like who do you want to be or who do you sound like, but what? Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's no. You know what? I will say. Yeah, it might be CK because it might be CK when I start the joke. Because when I start it, it's 2 minutes long, and like I think I'm being awesome. And then by the time I boil out all the bullshit, it's 20 seconds long, and then it wouldn't resemble that type of joke at all. You know what I mean?
Sure.
By the time it's done, it's like, and not that they're done, but by the time they're good enough.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's.
I like wish I could do like longer jokes.
It's so
but like
hard.
for me, it's like by the time I make it funny, it's short.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I think my longest joke is 1 minute.
Alrighty.
That's so man. Yeah, I have all of mine are fucking 1 minute is like the average for me, which sucks for open mics. It's not my favorite part of comedy. Is like, all right, I can do like 3 jokes at the Comedy Zone. Yeah. Or I have like a bit. I have a couple bits. Like I have a bit about being like a degenerate right now. That is 3 or more minutes long. It's like I can't even work this out at all my open mics. I gotta fucking like pick and
you
choose.
can at least do like the first half of it.
I know, yeah, which sucks. It always sucks to, especially because
you'll have hits along the way.
Yeah, and I try to end on the best hit. So if I don't get there, I can't. I feel I hate a bit that I don't feel like has an ending. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah, I mean it depends on the mic, but I'll totally go up there with like half of the joke.
Yeah,
and then be like, okay, at least I got this part.
Yeah, like my best example is like I have like 4 to 4.5 minutes on like my girl, who like she's older than me, so I have like 4. I call it my cougar chunk. Like 4 to 4.5 minutes of cougar jokes, but like I don't love them. There are a lot of, and the audience loves them more than I do. There are a lot of like short, whatever, like one-liner-ish jokes that I think are all hack. But maybe they're not, but like to me they are, just because they're like, they're just.
It does feel like
oh, you guys go dating, I go antiquing. Like it fucking works every time I do it, and I hate myself when I do it. Like I don't think it's funny. It's not. But it works. I mean, I think it's funny, but it's like, ugh.
I do feel like it's like, I feel like you're like old timey if you're making a joke about your wife. You're like, I see what my wife does.
That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. That's exactly how
that's I feel. And my jokes are like,
and that's how she talks every day. So it's like,
yeah, that's how I feel. And my jokes are 3 sentences, and I still feel like that.
Yeah. And it's like that chunk of material is like, I can't do it at the Zone. Because, and it also, the last joke feels like it wraps everything up.
I've seen you do it, but it's the whole thing that you did.
Yeah.
It was a while ago. I haven't seen you do it in a while, but like when you would, you would go up and that would be the only one you would
that's
do.
all I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes. It probably was on one of the 4-minute nights.
It was on one of the 4-minute
nights. Yes. Yeah.
One of the elusive 4-minute nights.
Yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things. I don't know. Yeah, it's fun. Comedy sucks.
Dude.
Comedy sucks and is also awesome.
It's the best.
Yeah. Comics are the best people, I think.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well,
there's exceptions to every
what I
rule,
love is that you could just talk about anything.
Larry is the exception.
What, I'm searching for what? I could love if you could just talk about anything. Like you could just go like I walked in, I saw your daughter. I go, "She do any tricks yet?"
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It is weird. You kind of have to like code switch, and sometimes you fuck up and like talk like you would to comics to like your wife or like just like family or like somebody like in line at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're like, oh wait, they don't like. Their brain doesn't think that way. You're like,
they're not a monster.
I probably just sound like horrific.
So when you're at home, you have to censor.
Yeah.
I don't usually, but I mean, I just mean like just in general, public. Like you might be at work and like you might say, and like you have to figure out who you can joke with, who you can't. Like,
I had a joke about that the first time I did comedy. My first set was about that. It was called and I never revisited it because I feel like it's hacked. But it was called social gambling.
Gambling, right.
Like where you just try to do a joke. It's like doing the joke on stage, but like it bombs on stage, and it's like, oh, he's trying to be funny, but in real life, it's like, oh, you're a monster.
Yeah.
Like, why did you bring up 9/11 at the cookout?
Yeah, dude, what's funny is like I only recently like came out of the closet as a comedian. So like my friends like in December, I did one of Malik's shows at
0 Day.
At 0 Day.
Yep.
And then I was like, okay. And I told all my friends, and they were like, how long have you been doing comedy? Or, you know what? I was going to tell them, and they saw the flyer ahead of time because it was like on Facebook or some shit.
I have to find out on Facebook?
Yeah, I was going to tell them, but they caught me sucking some dude's dick.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They just pulled me out of the closet. And then, but we went, and it was fun. It was good. And they were like, why don't you tell me? I'm like, because I'm not bringing you to an open mic so you can watch me freaking die. You know what I mean? So, like, I brought him to like a good show, and it was fun. And, but yeah, it was, all my friends were like, why didn't you tell me? And like now my buddy's like, he's like, all right, well then invite me out to the open mic. Cause I've invited him every open mic. He's came to 0. Like, Like, of course. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, this is why I didn't tell you.
This is why I didn't tell you. They didn't want to come. They just wanted the invite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wanted that pat on the back.
Yeah. They just wanted to be in the loop.
Well, I guess we about hit it.
Hell yeah.
Do you have any shows coming up that you want to?
Besides the baptism.
Yeah. So the roast battle is at the Den, and that's supposedly, unless the plan changes, it's 4 versus 4. So it'll start off with 4 New York comics against 4 Pennsylvania comics.
Alrighty.
We'll see what happens by the time we get to the final.
Right.
But that's all. I think that's all in one night.
Alrighty.
So what would that be? That'd be like, I don't know, math. That'd be
Right.
like 12 battles, whatever it is. And then
God, fucking people were backing out from Philly. You're gonna try and wrangle people from New York.
I mean, apparently it's that Kevin Lennigan dude. So he's just going to strong arm him into the
fair
car.
enough.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Fair enough.
That dude's scary. But then also on the 27th, the Den is having a comedy show, and I'm going to be on that. And then Church of Satire, April 4th. And that's that's the baptism show. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully that goes well.
Nice.
Sure
Yeah,
it will.
from what I hear, all the shows at Church of Satire usually do well. So
Yeah, I love that place, man.
yeah, it's sick. It's the only thing that sucked about like POV on Mondays is I can't get to church as much.
Right.
I've only been there once, but I liked it. I like that room.
Oh, you ended up going? Did I ever? I don't know if you ever talked about that on here.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, it was forever ago. Yeah, it was a while ago.
I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I actually do remember. Yeah,
Sorry.
just the two of us. You just fucking zoning out while I'm talking.
Sometimes I would go over and I would ask him, I'd be like, hey, who won that round? And he'd be like, I wasn't paying attention. Like at the
I
roast
totally
battle.
wasn't. Congratulations again on your
Yeah,
victory.
man. Thank you.
Well deserved. Anybody got anything else?
No.
See you next Thursday.
All right, thanks.